Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a final checkout video of this really cool post office telephone. This is a German post office telephone, and HG sent it in. And he always sends in really cool telephones. He's had some other German post office telephones in before, and they were green. And he's probably had some other phones in too as well. But this one is a 16 key. The green ones were 12 keys. And although the green ones looked like, you know, they were touch tone, they were not. The boards had to be totally changed. And on this one, we were able to, he wanted these telephones to dial out in tone, and when he sent them in, they were only in pulse. But we were able to get these telephones to dial out in tone, and he also wanted a bell installed because this telephone had a piezo buzzer. And I'll show you that. He prefers the bells, and then he likes switches to be able to turn the bell off totally, and this piezo buzzer just wasn't cutting it for him. Although he's probably never had this telephone hooked up because the line cord was for the post office, and it had a special little plug on it that they use over there that they plugged it in with. So, but he assumed if it was a piezo buzzer, maybe he looked in it. He didn't want that, and I don't blame him. So he likes to have a bell in his telephones and be able to turn the bell off totally, not just turn it down, but turn it off totally. So anyway, we did some earlier videos of this telephone, and I kind of showed that once this piezo buzzer was taken out of the body, you know, it left a big hole on the side here, and I was trying to figure out a way to where we could, and that's a factory variable resistor there, or potentiometer, and basically we have the factory one back in. So I was kicking around for a while what we were going to do, since we had a pretty big hole there once this piece was taken out, the piezo buzzer, and basically it was all mounted together. The piezo buzzer sat in the telephone, and it had the volume control over here that controlled the piezo buzzer. And I was kind of looking for a switch that I would be happy with over here on the side, to take the place of the original factory wheel here that rolled back and forth that controlled the sound level of the piezo buzzer. And I just didn't come up with anything to fill that hole, that void in the body. So I figured, you know, we'll just take and cut the original variable resistor totally from this piezo buzzer and incorporate it as a high and low volume and off switch, basically, or to turn the bell all the way down. And so we just utilized that, and we cut it free from the original piezo buzzer. It was all one piece here, basically, all molded together. And so that looking on the outside of the phone, you can't tell any different now. There's no difference. It's the original part, and it's back in, and only it's controlling the bell now instead of the piezo buzzer. So basically, this is a really cool telephone. The other thing is they have a really long line cord, and this is all original. I was able to take this line cord and take the original plug off and install a modular port or a modular plug, line plug on this telephone, so we can use his original cord. So this cord is original, and now it has a modular plug on it instead of the German plug that you would utilize their phone system with. So everything's and a bell's been installed in it. We're going to do some final checks on this telephone. The other thing is since this is a 16 key, we were able to do a mute here. We have a mute, and then down here where the double circles are, we have a redial. So, and it's dialing out in touch tone now. So basically, let's go ahead and ring the telephone. And I'm going to roll this wheel a little bit. And I'm going to kind of adjust it. And that's kind of really low. And then I'm gonna wait for a ring cycle, and I'm gonna turn it off totally. Now it's turned off totally. I'm gonna let the ring cycle go, and I'm gonna bring it up on a ring cycle. Very next one. I'm gonna wait for the next ring cycle. And that's all the way up. So now we're utilizing the original ring volume control. Let's go ahead and answer the telephone. Give you some dial tone. And we're going to go ahead and dial some numbers now. End in a 2. We're going to go ahead and hang up. And I'm going to go ahead and hit redial. That should end in a 2. I'm going to hang up. Give you some dial tone. We'll try that one more time. I'm going to end in a 6 this time. Hang up, hit redial, it ended in a 6. I'm going to go ahead and talk into the handset, and every time you see that red light on the telephone analyzer, that indicates 100% modulation on the transmit when you talk into the handset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now what we want to do, since we know the telephone is fully functioning, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk into the handset, but yet I'm going to hit the mute button or the hold button, and you're going to see that I can't transmit anymore. So what I'm going to do is we know that it's transmitting, so I'm going to hit this button here. See, the light will not come on. So you're in the mute or the hold function, and now if I tap on the handset, you can see it's lighting that light that is a modulation indicator. So we know the hold is working, or the mute, and so everything is functioning on this telephone properly now. So I'm going to take the line cord and I'm going to go over into a regular line with it. I'm going to get some dial tone here. And we're going to dial, say, a time and temp number.
Shop our entire location online anytime at Offenburg.com. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd. The time is 7:49. Current temperature 60 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area. Mostly clear tonight, patchy frost, lows in the mid-30s. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, a high in the mid-60s.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's hang up and we'll hit redial. And you'll know at Offenburg Ford at Belleville and O'Fallon. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd. The time is 7:49. Current temperature is 60. Okay, now we know that that's all working. Let's try one more number. I'll go ahead and dial my number, and it should be busy. and never hurts to do it one more time. We'll check time and temp again.
Good evening. Our body shop can repair almost any make and model for less. Offenburg, Belleville, 234-0330. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd. The time is 7:50. Current temperature 60 degrees.
So we know this telephone is totally working. What I want to do now is I'm going to plug it back over into the analyzer, but I'm not going to totally plug it all the way in, because what I want to do is I want to show you basically how the inside looks. This is your top of your cover here, and then I want to show you basically how the bell was installed. In the beginning, when this had the piezo buzzer and the potentiometer here for the volume control, they were all one piece, and they kind of mounted in like this, and they sat in there. But once the piezo buzzer was cut away from the, and there was a screw back here that held everything in place, where I have the bell now, and there was only one screw that held this bracket down that held the piezo buzzer and the variable potentiometer. So basically, since that was all one piece and it was only held down by one screw, once the variable was taken away from the taken away from the piezo buzzer here, it had no real mounting. So we used epoxy to epoxy it in. And since we had a really tight fit here with the bell, basically we were able to mount it with one mounting screw, but we didn't want to drill any holes back here, so what we did was we used epoxy. And these epoxies that they have nowadays are so hard that, you know, you're going to break the phone before you break the bell, basically. You're going to break something else. So it's all very stationary, and I don't have any problems with that. And it's fully functionable, turning the volume control up and down. So it's not going to just fall out. So all that really worked out well, because in the end we got the bell that HG wanted, which everybody's happy now, because I prefer to hear a bell sound too. Piezo buzzers, when you have to have them, they're okay, but there's nothing like a bell. And so now we've got a bell installed. We also were able to utilize the original volume control for the piezo buzzer, which is a volume control for the bell now. And we were able to get our touch tone here with our phone, and everything worked out well. And we were able to use the original line cord, which it's got to be at least 12-15 feet long, and it's a heavy-duty cord. It's a good line cord. It's not cheap by any means. This was the original equipment that they had at the post office, so it's a good one. And we were able to sneak a modular plug onto that. So everything worked out really well with this 16 key. And I went ahead and seized the line again, because what I'm going to do is put the cover back on and hang up the phone. And since I was moving the control back and forth, I really don't know if we're got the bell on right now, but we're going to try it. There we go. And I can sit here and I'll be able to turn it down. And it's kind of sensitive, so I can barely make it happen. You know, you could literally turn this thing down so it just barely makes some noise. That's very sensitive. And then I can turn it all the way off. That would be totally off. You won't hear anything out of it now. And you can see the analyzer, that red light lights every time it's in a ring cycle. And so now I'm going to slowly work it up. Just catch a ring cycle here. And then I'll just kind of work it up slowly. So you get the ideal. It all worked out really well. It worked out really well, and we were able to utilize most all the original parts and dump the piezo buzzer. So it turned out very well. And HG was kind of wondering what was going on with this telephone, but you know, because we had done an earlier video where the telephone was almost finished. But I'm very busy here, and we also kind of had to spend some time away working on telephone lines out of state, where they've been having a lot of tornadoes. So I've been just very, very busy, and I'm called out by telephone companies to do that type of work. And so also kicking around the switch situation where you know, you had a big hole here on the side. If you didn't use the original wheel for the volume control, it would have left a big hole in the side of the telephone there, and we would have had to add some other type of switch. And I just was kind of kicking around what we wanted to do, because I really didn't want it to look, you know, cheesy or anything. So using the original equipment was the best ideal, and so that's what we finally decided on. And I'm happy that we did that, because it turned out really well. So I hope HG will approve of that. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.